Hey Rates, today I'll be reading Take Me Away, Please by Lily Chan. It was 4 o'clock. I sighed. Every day, 6 days a week, I dreaded this moment and hoped the hands of the clock would miraculously spin forward a couple of hours. For 4 p.m. signified that it was time to start work. Every quintessential Australian town had a local Chinese takeaway shop, and my parents were the proud owners of one such establishment at Mareeba, a largely agricultural township in far north Queensland. Rather than adopting a traditional and fortuitous-sounding name such as the Golden Dragon Restaurant or Happy Fortune Inn, my father preferred a simpler approach. Peter Chan's Chinese Takeaway resided on the quieter end of the town's main street, nestled between a video store and a chiropractor's practice. This was where I grew up, and where my family lived and worked from 1983 until my parents' retirements in the late 1990s. The shop officially opened at 4:30 p.m, but we needed to prepare half an hour beforehand. I changed out of my blue school dress and roused Mum and Dad from their daily 20-minute siesta. Getting to work wasn't an issue, but getting away was, as our small living quarters were attached to the shop. The quarters consisted of 2 rooms separated by a sliding wooden door. One room served as a combined family living area and was also where my parents slept. The other room, a small storage area turned bedroom, I shared with my sister. The shop's restroom also served as our family bathroom and was located outside the main premises. Mum and Dad started organising the kitchen, taking out a vast array of ingredients from the cold room, all of which they had meticulously chopped, sliced and marinated only hours earlier. Dad lit the gas rings under the woks, including the big wok containing the vegetable oil reserved for deep frying. My sister and I were responsible for the front of house. Our chores consisted of switching on the lights and turning the open sign that was hung on the front sliding door. As the elder child, I had the added responsibility of managing the cash flow. Instead of a cash register, we used several plastic takeaway containers to separate the various notes and coins. This was how I was able to develop my arithmetic skills early on. I learnt quickly, for a non-reconciliation of cash to the total orders at the evening ends would earn a stern word from Mum. After opening shop, I took my usual place behind the counter and scrounged in my school bag for the day's homework. One of the few benefits of working after school every day was that I became very diligent in homework. It gave me something to do to pass the time. That and the fact that I wanted to get out of this town very badly. If not doing homework, I could either talk with my sister or watch television. More often than not, my sister preferred to play outside when she wasn't on duty, so I usually resorted to switching between the 2 free-to-air channels to see what was most palatable. I became a big fan of shows like Get Smart and The Goodies, and the theme song to Come and Get It, Peter Russell Clark's 5-minute cooking show, became forever ingrained in my memory. Having finished my algebra questions, I again looked at my watch. It was now 5:30 p.m. Any moment now, the bodybuilder from across the road would ring up and place his usual Tuesday order, a steak omelette and 4 steamed dim sims. Bodybuilder man was the classic same time, same dish kind of customer. We had a lot of those, which was good because they were our bread and butter. If one didn't turn up when he or she was supposed to, then the person was either on holidays or had passed on from this earth. To call them reliable was an understatement. The most popular dishes included special fried rice, chicken with almonds, and sweet and sour pork. Those who were indecisive could order the shandy special, which was basically a combination of the 3 dishes in one meal. Our most adventurous clientele would choose from the special board, which included exotic-sounding dishes such as Mongolian lamb and Singapore noodles. Mum and Dad were already busy in the kitchen, standing over the 5 smoking woks. A customer from Cooktown had called the previous evening to place a large order of 20 dishes. Every 3 months, this customer would make the 200-kilometre journey to do her shopping and, of course, pick up her supply of Chinese food. I could hear the faint sizzling of the wok in the background as Dad tossed the ingredients around the steel spade-like cooking implements. Mum was writing the name of each dish on plastic container lids with a thick blue felt pen so the customer could identify them easily. I bet they were looking forward to finishing up tonight. They had invited the town's only other Chinese family over to dinner. The Laos were, in fact, our competitors. They owned the Hong Kong restaurant down the road. However, they were also our friends, simply because in this small, prejudiced town, all we had was each other. We got together every now and then, especially to celebrate events on the Chinese calendar. However, the reason for tonight's gathering was that Mum had cooked her special salted pork and century egg congee. This was complemented by several plates of yu zhao gui, Chinese savoury dough sticks, which had ordered from a Brisbane bakery the previous week, which had only arrived by freight today. Our families shared many things, including Chinese magazines, newspapers and videos, as well as gifts of various delicacies from overseas visitors. The adults' favourite thing to exchange was gossip, particularly concerning other Chinese in the tablelands in Cairns region. This provided endless hours of speculation, analysis and discussion, which they would enjoy while sipping Chinese tea and munching on sour biscuits. The phone rang. Bodybuilder man, on time as usual. I jumped up, pushed through the swinging doors into the kitchen, and picked up the receiver. Peter Chan's Chinese takeaway, can I help you? And that's the end of the story.